Okay. This is the 20th of May. We're right in the middle of the Canadian Carp Society Spring, Summer, Fall tournament. And I'm going to be hopefully coming here fishing tomorrow. I've been putting bait in here since pretty much ice out. So I've been putting bait in here for weeks now. Just a couple trips a week. Just kind of check on the water, check on the temperature, look for activity. And today was the first day. As I was walking up, I saw a fish bosh out of here, so I'm feeling pretty good. But I've been looking at the leaderboard for the SSF tournament, and I'm fairly certain that when I look at the leaderboard, I know the majority of those anglers personally through the Canadian Carp Society, through their social media platform, and I know that these guys are putting in the legwork and they're putting out the bait in advance of their sessions. So I think a lesson that's not easily learned by a lot of new carp anglers is that everyone expects the fishing to be slow, and you're gonna have to wait a long time before your first bite, blah blah blah. Do the legwork, do some pre-baiting, and have fish waiting for you when you finally get to your swim, and cut down a lot of that dead time waiting for that first bite. I know that I have a lot of spots. Where I'm fairly confident that when I get to the spot, I'm going to be on fish right away. But if you're not going to be on fish right away, it's more important to get the bait in advance and cut down on that dead time and have a more productive session. So I'm going to introduce a bit of corn, and then hopefully that fish will show again and I can size them up for the tournament. And this is mid-lockdown, so we got the lockdown furl going on. So let's see what happens. I think tomorrow I'm gonna cook up some smaller particle, but I've just been baiting with maize that I cook in the pressure cooker. I've seen this section of Canal over the last couple years. I've seen this section emptied out, and the only really good flat spots to present some bait are way down at the end there, and they're not accessible. But I know that the fish cruise around here, and I'm hoping that the fact that I've introduced bait gradually over such an extended period of time, that this area will become a feature for the fish because of the bait. And the fact that there's not a lot of natural food in here, and the fact that I've introduced bait on such a regular basis, that hopefully the fish will be here. And you know, the fact that the presentation isn't going to be perfect, hopefully that doesn't really matter, because you know, if they're hungry, I'm sure they're going to be on it. So we'll put the theory to test tomorrow and see what kind of trouble we can get into. My last session, that I fished for this tournament, Canadian Carp Society Spring Summer Fall event, I got into a bunch of fish, but none of them were upgrades, and it was just super hectic. And I think I'm gonna go for a bit of a change of pace and check this spot out tomorrow and see what it has to offer. Seeing as how it's a canal and they do maintenance on it, the previous winter they decided to empty out at least one section directly above this section. So I'm fairly confident that any fish that were in the section above have basically migrated or been forced to migrate down into this section, and any fish from the lake kind of looking for a spot to spawn have likely made their way up here. So I think this particular section this season, more so than other seasons, is probably going to have a fairly decent concentration of fish. So I'm looking forward to putting some time in here after spending so much time just kind of chillaxing and coming out here and putting in some bait. So I look forward to tomorrow, and hopefully it produces for me and my team, Team Savage. You'll see in if you look back in some of the Angler Files videos, and hopefully there'll be a couple more from this season, but the challenge series was very interesting with the Carp Vanguard. It's so peaceful here today. I wish that I had brought my rods along with me instead of just putting in the bait today, but it's a very high traffic area, and one of the reasons I picked this spot to bait up is that it's got a bush with a small section of land between the high traffic area and the water itself. So hopefully I can keep my rods tucked away and try to be a little more private tomorrow. And there's one right there. I think the baiting's paid off. I literally had a carp just come up right here. I should have brought my rods today. See you tomorrow, bud. Bright and early. Okay, we're headed back out to go fish over that bait we put out yesterday, but I don't have any bait on hand. I was contemplating just going and grabbing a couple bags of frozen corn, but instead I'm just gonna knock up a quick batch of bait. I like pigeon conditioner for kind of my day of sessions. There's a lot more smaller particles to keep the fish grubbing around in front of you. For pre-baiting, I like to keep it a little less expensive and just go with the straight maize, cattle corn, and but obviously with both these options there's a bit of preparation involved, and I find it's quickest for me to use the pressure cooker. I know there's other guys that'll soak the bait for a couple days and cook it in a big cauldron with a propane on the deck or whatever, but this is a perfect, like, you know, one session amount kind of thing. But if you're making some bait the day before, you can fill up like a 20-liter pail quite quickly in a couple hours without having to do all that work in advance, pre-soaking your maize and everything. So another thing that I like to incorporate in my day of session, I like to put peanuts, whole peanuts, out of the shell, like in with the bait, but I don't have any of that today. But it really makes the house smell good when you're preparing the bait. But so what I do, if I'm using the maize, it's got a lot of chalk and starch and things on it. So before I cook it in the pressure cooker, I like to rinse it off and get rid of that, because it it will scorch. If you leave it on a little bit too long, it'll really scorch the bottom. So I like to rinse that off before I make my maize. But follow the instructions for your pressure cooker. But the good part about this is it's pretty straightforward. You can add salt, sugar, different scents to your bait while it's cooking if you wish. So for this, I've got it filled as per the directions for my pressure cooker. For grains, I've got it filled 1/3 of the way. You fill it to the 2/3 mark with water, and basically everything inside doubles in size. So I've gone from this much dried bait, and then when this process is finished, I'm going to have almost this entire pressure cooker full of bait to use today. So I'm going to go cook this off quick, and basically I started off on full power, and once it comes to a heavy boil and it's pressurized and there's a bunch of steam coming out of the top, then I turn it down to about 1/4 power on the stove, and once it reaches the full pressure, and I turn the gas, or if I turn the stove down to about 1/4 power, then depending on the particles that you cook, I find it takes between 40, like something like this will cook in about 40 minutes, and this will cook in about 50 minutes, but depending on where you buy it, sometimes the temperature or the cooking time can vary a little bit. So I'm gonna go get this started, and hopefully we'll be on the water soon. We got the rods out in place. We got our pigeon conditioner out there, same range as the baits. Now we just wait for the fish. The first session didn't go as expected. There was a lot of fish showing and lots of line activity. I've discounted some of the line activity due to there's about a 3-pound smallmouth. It's kind of swimming around underneath the tips of my rod and chasing minnows and busting on the bait fish, so that might have been some of the indication that was keeping my focus on my rods for a while there. I've got the pod all stripped down. I'm going to reel in my rods now, and we'll come back here soon and give it another go. Hopefully within a day or two. The weather was really kind of switched on the last week or so. Every day's been almost 30 degrees, and the week before, like, we were having daytime highs around 10. I thought for sure it was going to be on today, but we'll see what a little bit of rain and a drop in pressure will do. Maybe that's what we're waiting for. But I guess we'll find out next session, because this one's pretty much in the bag. Okay, it's been a bit of a mad dash to get my lines in tonight. Been seeing fish crash all over my bait just as I was walking up, so I'm gonna try to get a line in quick while they're still here. I was kind of figuring that this might be a better time of day to come out, because the majority of the time that I've been introducing bait, it's been in the dusk kind of hours, a couple hours before dark. So hopefully if the fish pattern me at all with the entry of the bait, then hopefully they'll be waiting for me.
But if you haven't, we can definitely have you guys come local camping. I don't know. It's definitely very difficult. When it gets older,
our first fish to the bank. It looks like a mid to upper double. It needs to be over 15 pounds to add weight to my CCS tournament weight. So I'm gonna give this fish a quick little weigh on the scale, and then get the line back out. Saturday? Yeah. What, Saturday, May 20th?
Yeah,
21?
Yeah, 22.
22. Okay. Saturday, May the 22nd. Just had both my rods go off at the same time, pretty much. I'm gonna try to get a quick weight on these fish. I'll try to weigh the bigger one first and see if the second one is worth weighing. Okay, 1 pound 7 ounces is the wet weight of the sling. Okay, first fish, 15 pounds, 15 ounces. Bait's teared out again. 1 pound, 6 ounces wet.
That's pretty impressive.
Carp.
Yeah, carp.
Second fish, 16 pounds, 2 ounces.
So you were making a video for YouTube, right?
Yeah, I'm also in a tournament that I have to weigh the fish in.
Yeah. Chơi rồi thả lại xuống này. Ủa, cũng có 16 kg.
Alright, I'm not sure what the cameras managed to catch. It got a little hectic there for a bit. I had one 15 pounds, 15 ounces was the first fish. The second fish I thought was smaller, but it was actually like 3 ounces bigger. It was 16 pounds, 2 ounces. I just had another dropped run, and so hopefully, if everything goes well, hopefully I can pull another fish out of here before I go. But I'm not sure if the difference was the pressure change or the time of day or just the fact that the fish were cruising through this stretch when I was here as opposed to yesterday. But I'm going to keep the lines in for a bit more. The wind's calmed down, so I'll be able to see all the activity on the surface, and I'm quite sure I'm in the right spot. I don't think there's any reason for them to be elsewhere. And besides, I got a lot of good bait in here, and so we'll stick it out for a bit longer. I think for the tournament, I may have upgraded by 1.5 pounds, but these baby steps aren't what I was hoping for. I was hoping for some upper 20s or. Sorry, the camera cut out there. You know, for me personally, I'm happy to upgrade, but I didn't want to upgrade by 1 pound or 1.5 pounds. I'm hoping to actually get a fish in the team weight too, because as it stands now, I think John and Kevin have their fish are substantially larger than mine, so all the team weights are coming from John and Kevin at this point. So hopefully something big will come in here soon, and But as it stands, I'm kind of enjoying this little spot. It's close to home. I can keep the bait trickling in, and I can always just kind of pop in here at any point and scratch the itch when I need to.
Carp fishing?
Still got a good one.
Yeah, well, they're pretty muscular fish.
Oh yeah.
I've only ever caught them by accident fishing.
Yeah, this one feels big. Normally, if it's a small one, there's quicker head shapes.
They're active fish too. Like most people think of them as slugs. I think of them like sports fish.
Oh yeah.
But that guy's really moving around a lot. with you?
Yeah.
What do you? Would that thing be like 15 pounds, something like that?
I caught a couple earlier that were. This one looks a little bit bigger than the ones I got earlier. I think this one. I think. Excuse me. This one might go like 18 or something. Oh yeah.
That's great. Now, have you been baiting the water here?
Yeah. I've been putting corn out. I've been putting corn out for a couple weeks. This is like my second time fishing over
Well,
the.
when I was jogging by, I saw someone baiting, and I didn't know if it was you or not. I thought, oh, that's a neat idea. But you weren't fishing at the time; you're just throwing it out.
Yeah, no, it's just like just putting a coin in for later.
Yeah, and you find it does make a difference.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Slow down, William. Okay, sling's really wet. 1 pound, 1 pound, 13 ounces wet. Uh, 17 pounds, 14 ounces. Saturday, May the 22nd, around 8 o'clock at night. I think I forgot to give the time with the first one. Okay, we just landed our third, just shy of 18 pounds. I'm probably just gonna top off the bait, get ready for tomorrow, and do a little pack down. The average size fish out of here is been good so far. I've upgraded on each of my 3 fish. It was tough walking away from a spot that was producing to try to switch another spot on, but with this heat, I just kind of wanted to make sure my spot wasn't gonna flip onto the spawn and have the fish shut down. And I think I got the water temperature I need, and so hopefully this will produce for the last 2 days of the tournament, and hopefully I can get a couple upgrades between now and then. Okay, we're back to do a quick morning over top of the bait that we put out yesterday night when we were finishing up. Got a couple fresh hook baits out there, and hopefully we get something quick here. And the plan is not to sit here and bake in the sun all day. I think I'm going to try to come back in the evening again, but if I land something on this little morning session, then I might just end the video here, and then hopefully you can find me and John on some other adventure in a later video.
ગઈ વખત ક્યાં ના ગયા મજા આવી અરે મજા 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 કઈ નવું લાગે છે ગ્રીનરી જોવા મળે પાણી હોય
Alright, I've had the lines in for like an hour. Got our first fish here. It feels kind of slow, so it might not be too bad. hopefully we get a chance to find out.
Kind of looks like the fish I had yesterday. It's kind of weird. If it's 15 pounds, 15 ounces, I'm not going to rule it out. But anyways, I'm going to set up to weigh this fish quick. Basically, all I did for this spot, I took what I knew, I made some assumptions, I put in some bait, put in some more bait, etc., etc., fished over it, and this is the result. So let's weigh this up.
1 pound 13 ounces is the wet weight of the sling. £15 10 ounces. I'm pretty sure it's the same fish, and he's dropped 5 ounces or something. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap up the video here, and then hopefully if anything big comes in, then I'll kind of insert it in here. But it just shows the benefit of pre-baiting. I can tell this guy is kind of passing the corn that I've been putting in, so. And he got stung here yesterday and he came back for more, so you can really encourage them to hang out in an area and take advantage of it. So good luck. Make sure to check out some more Anglerphiles videos, and check out the Canadian Carp Society. There's a lot of good things happening there. Talk to you soon.